Have you ever shared something deeply personal, only to later wish you hadn't? As we grow older, we realize that some things are better left unspoken, not out of secrecy, but to protect our peace and preserve our dignity. In today's video, we'll uncover 5 important aspects of life where a little silence can make a big difference. By practicing this, we can nurture our well-being, build stronger family connections, and enhance our mental health. This isn't about hiding who you are. It's about cultivating a life filled with harmony and mutual respect with those closest to you. So join me as we delve into these valuable lessons. They might just transform the way you approach your relationships. And if you find these insights helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Path of Wisdom. By doing so, you're supporting us in sharing these vital life lessons with a wider community. Now let's dive in and discover the secrets you should keep from your family for your own good. Secret 1. Past major mistakes. As we age, it's natural to want to share our life's journey, the good times, the struggles, and the lessons learned. But sometimes, especially when it comes to past mistakes, we may find that silence speaks volumes. It's not about secrecy. It's about preserving peace both within ourselves and within our family. Let me tell you the story of Mr. Lawrence, a retired craftsman who shared a painful financial loss with his granddaughter. Years ago, he had trusted the wrong business partner, which led to a significant setback, one that took him years to recover from. Thinking this story would teach her the value of trust, he was surprised when she looked at him with concern, even a touch of pity. Though her reaction wasn't meant to hurt him, it left him feeling vulnerable and, to his surprise, a bit regretful for having shared it. Mr. Lawrence realized that not every past mistake needs to be a lesson for others. Our family often sees us as role models, and hearing about certain regrets can be burdensome or lead them to view us differently. Often, they don't just take the lesson. They see the person behind it differently, sometimes in a way we didn't intend for them. A moment we view as a valuable learning experience can be seen as a warning or even a judgment, changing the dynamic between us. When we choose to hold on to these difficult experiences, they remain personal reminders of strength and resilience. They're there to guide us quietly in how we support our family without needing to share every detail. Our loved ones don't necessarily need to know the whole story to benefit from our wisdom. Often, a simple phrase like, "I learned the value of trust the hard way," suffices. This way, you pass on wisdom without revealing every painful detail. There's a powerful freedom in this kind of discretion. When we choose which parts of our past to keep private, we avoid the potential hurt or misinterpretation that can sometimes come from oversharing. Instead, we're able to be present as the person we've become rather than being defined by past mistakes. Family members will see us not as a collection of regrets, but as examples of resilience, someone who continues to grow and find peace with life's twists and turns. Choosing silence doesn't mean dismissing or ignoring our past mistakes. It means we've learned from them deeply enough that we don't need to share them to gain validation. This approach lets us preserve our dignity and self-worth without any risk of judgment or pity. We continue to guide our family not by our failures, but by the strength we gained through them. When we carry these stories privately, they become valuable in a different way. They're a reminder of the life we've lived and the lessons we've learned, quietly shaping how we support and advise our loved ones. Without sharing every detail, we're able to convey the importance of caution, patience, and resilience. This selective sharing lets us choose the legacy we leave, one marked by wisdom and strength, not by regret or mistakes. In today's world, there's a tendency to share everything, to lay it all out, but there is a special grace in keeping certain stories close to our hearts. These experiences serve as private reflections that strengthen us without changing how others view us. Through this, we gain an inner peace and wisdom that our family can sense and respect, allowing us to guide them with gentle assurance. So remember, not every story must be told. By choosing what to share and what to keep within, you preserve both your inner peace and the respect of those around you. This quiet strength speaks for itself, allowing your family to see you as a role model of resilience and wisdom, encouraging them to live with patience, respect, and understanding. Secret 2. Minor health concerns. As we grow older, it's natural to feel more aware of our health, from the smallest aches to the occasional sleepless night. But constantly sharing every little discomfort with family can often create more worry than comfort. It's not that your family doesn't care. In fact, it's because they care deeply. Sometimes keeping minor health concerns to ourselves helps maintain a positive atmosphere around us. Consider Mrs. Eleanor, a retired teacher in her 70s. Every day she felt the small aches and pains of age creeping up on her. One morning, she mentioned her sore knees to her daughter, who immediately went online, reading her pages of advice on arthritis remedies, knee braces, and even special diets. Eleanor appreciated the concern, but felt a little overwhelmed. Her daughter's well-meaning reaction only made her feel even more fragile. Over time, Mrs. Eleanor noticed that mentioning her daily discomforts led her family to worry excessively, treating her with more caution than she wanted. So she made a change. She decided to focus on her overall health and only bring up the bigger concerns if necessary. Instead of talking about her sore knees, she'd mention how much she enjoyed her daily walk or appreciated the good day she had. Gradually, she noticed a difference. Her family stopped seeing her as a bundle of health concerns and began appreciating her as the strong, resilient person she was. This subtle shift helped Mrs. Eleanor regain her sense of independence and peace. Her family, too, felt more at ease, enjoying her company without the shadow of worry. There's wisdom in sharing only what's truly important. Minor pains, common colds, or the occasional sleepless night don't always need to be a topic of conversation. It's natural to experience these things, and most of the time we're equipped to manage them without turning to family for support. By focusing our conversations on positive aspects of our lives, we create a happier, more comfortable atmosphere. This approach doesn't mean ignoring our health. Instead, it's about choosing when and how to share health concerns. When you do this, you control the narrative, not as a patient, but as someone who values strength and resilience. We're in a time where it's easy to dwell on health, especially with all the information available, but over-focusing on every ache and pain can draw us into a loop of worry. Choosing to keep these minor concerns private allows us to focus more on life's joys, reminding our family and ourselves that we're more than our health issues. When you're with family, consider talking about what's going well. Share the moments that make you smile or the small joys in your day. Instead of mentioning that back pain, talk about the beautiful book you're reading, a nice stroll you took, or a project you're looking forward to. This creates an atmosphere of positivity and encourages your family to see you for who you are, someone strong, capable, and engaged in life. As Mrs. Eleanor learned, a positive focus doesn't deny the reality of aging. It simply frames it differently, giving both you and your family a chance to enjoy time together without the weight of worry. When bigger health issues do arise, your family will understand their importance because you've set a standard of resilience. So the next time you feel a small discomfort, pause and ask yourself if sharing it will benefit you or your family. Often, keeping these details private can be a gift to your loved ones. They'll see the positive side of you, a person who faces life's challenges with strength and grace, and this, more than anything, will be the example they cherish and remember. In the end, choosing what to share about our health becomes an act of love and wisdom. By focusing on what uplifts and strengthens you, you create a legacy of resilience and optimism that speaks louder than words ever could. Let your family enjoy and appreciate the person you are, now fully engaged in life, facing each day with courage and quiet strength. Secret 3. Unfulfilled dreams or wishes. As the years pass, we each carry dreams that may have remained just that, dreams. Perhaps it was traveling to a distant place, pursuing a different career, or creating something meaningful. And though these dreams are precious, sharing them too openly can sometimes create a bittersweet distance with loved ones who may not fully understand. Take Mr. James, a retired mechanic who always dreamed of becoming a musician. In his younger days, he'd saved to buy a guitar and spent hours teaching himself to play. But life took him in other directions. He married, raised a family, and built a steady career. Now in his 70s, Mr. James found himself reminiscing about his love for music. One afternoon, he shared this unfulfilled dream with his grandson, hoping to pass on his passion. Yet his grandson, though supportive, seemed unsure how to respond. He saw Mr. James as someone fulfilled and content, and the mention of unachieved dreams made him feel a mix of guilt and pity, not understanding that this was just part of his grandfather's story, not a sadness. Reflecting on his grandson's reaction, Mr. James decided that some dreams might be best kept within. He realized that his story wasn't just about dreams left undone, but also about the life he lived in their place, the family he raised, the friends he made, and the peace he found. Instead of focusing on what he hadn't achieved, he began to share stories about what he had created, memories, relationships, and laughter that his family treasured. Keeping some dreams private allows us to hold on to them as gentle reminders of who we are without shifting the focus to what could have been. Family, especially younger generations, may not fully grasp why these dreams mean so much to us. They may feel burdened or even sad, thinking they somehow contributed to these unfulfilled wishes. Instead, when we keep these dreams close, we protect both our peace and theirs. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing those dreams. They're still a part of us, inspiring us to live fully in the present. But by holding them within, we focus more on sharing the lessons learned along the way rather than the paths we didn't take. When family sees us embracing the present, it strengthens their respect for us as they witness a life lived with acceptance and gratitude. In moments of reflection, instead of dwelling on unfulfilled dreams, try focusing on the values and experiences that shaped who you are. Share stories that highlight the resilience and wisdom you've gained. Mr. James, for instance, now tells his grandson about the dedication and patience he developed as a mechanic, qualities that served him in ways he never imagined when he first picked up that guitar. Through these stories, his family sees his passions, even if they weren't pursued exactly as he envisioned. Unspoken dreams often add a quiet beauty to our lives. They remind us that while we didn't achieve everything we set out to, we found meaning in other ways. By choosing to keep certain dreams within, we protect our family from any unintended sadness and allow them to enjoy the legacy of strength, wisdom, and love we have created. When we hold on to dreams silently, they stay with us as private symbols of resilience, reminders of the journey we've taken and the sacrifices we made for the things that truly matter. Family can see and feel the joy and wisdom we've gathered along the way, and in this quiet strength, they find a model for how to approach their own dreams and life decisions. So next time you think about those unfulfilled dreams, cherish them for yourself. Let them remind you of all you've done and all the love you've given. In doing so, you'll inspire your family to embrace their own paths with gratitude, knowing that sometimes life's greatest gifts are the memories we make and the love we share. Secret 4: disappointments or dissatisfaction with family. As we age, it's only natural to develop certain expectations or hopes for our loved ones. Watching them grow, we may wish for them to make choices that align with our values or our vision for them. However, openly expressing disappointment or dissatisfaction with their life choices can sometimes do more harm than good. Quietly keeping these feelings within ourselves can preserve family harmony and, in the end, strengthen bonds. Take Mrs. Amelia, a retired librarian, as an example. Mrs. Amelia was deeply proud of her children, but often felt a bit disappointed that her daughter didn't follow in her footsteps in choosing a stable, secure career. Her daughter decided to start a small business, something she was passionate about, even though it came with financial risks. Mrs. Amelia couldn't help but worry, imagining a life where her daughter struggled rather than thrived. One day, she decided to share her concerns, gently suggesting that a more reliable job might be better. Though her words came from a place of love, her daughter took them as a lack of support, feeling that her mother didn't believe in her dream. Realizing her mistake, Mrs. Amelia reflected on the situation and chose a new approach. She decided to support her daughter without judgment, focusing on her own role as a source of encouragement rather than a source of criticism. Gradually, she noticed that their conversations became more open, and her daughter felt more comfortable sharing the ups and downs of her journey. Mrs. Amelia's quiet support allowed their relationship to flourish, even when she didn't fully understand or agree with every decision. There's wisdom in choosing silence over criticism, especially when it comes to family. While it's natural to have opinions about the paths our loved ones choose, they may interpret our words in ways we didn't intend. Expressing disappointment can leave family members feeling as though they've let us down, creating a gap between us. Instead, by offering quiet, positive support, we allow them to make their own choices while still feeling our love and respect. Holding back criticism doesn't mean we agree with every choice our family makes. It means we're choosing to trust them with their own lives. By focusing on their growth and individuality rather than our personal expectations, we create a nurturing environment. This silent support speaks volumes, allowing family members to feel safe, confident, and free from the pressure of trying to meet someone else's standards. When disappointment arises, consider shifting the focus inward. Ask yourself, is this about me or about them? Often, our reactions reflect our own experiences and expectations more than their actual needs. Recognizing this helps us choose our words more wisely and encourages family members to embrace their unique journeys. Mrs. Amelia, for example, realized that her reaction to her daughter's choices stemmed from her own values around job security. By acknowledging this, she could separate her personal beliefs from her daughter's dreams, ultimately supporting her in ways that truly mattered. Family dynamics are often delicate, and silence can be a powerful tool in maintaining peace. By choosing to let go of minor disappointments or personal judgments, we allow our relationships to grow based on acceptance and respect. Family members will sense this acceptance and be more likely to include us in their lives, knowing they're supported rather than judged. Ultimately, our loved ones may not remember every word we said, but they'll remember how we made them feel. By choosing support over criticism, we leave behind a legacy of understanding and respect. They'll feel free to be their true selves, knowing that we accept them as they are. This silent encouragement often has a greater impact than any words could achieve, building stronger bonds and a sense of trust that lasts through generations. So next time you feel disappointed or unsure about a loved one's choices, consider taking a step back. Hold on to your perspective, quietly choosing to support them as they navigate life. This gentle silence creates a sense of freedom, allowing them to make their own decisions while knowing they have your love and acceptance. Through this approach, you protect the precious bonds that connect you, ensuring that family remains a source of comfort, trust, and unwavering support. Secret 5. Personal plans for assets. When it comes to our assets and inheritance plans, it's often tempting to share every detail with our family. We want them to feel secure, to know we've prepared for the future. But sharing too much too soon can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or even unintended disputes among family members. Instead, keeping these plans private until the right time can help ensure family harmony and focus on relationships over material concerns. Let's consider Meister Robert's story, a retired banker. He spent years working hard to build up a modest estate, hoping it would bring his family comfort and security. Eager to share his plans, he once mentioned to his 2 sons how he intended to split his assets. Initially, his sons listened with interest, but soon Mr. Robert began noticing subtle changes in their behavior. They started asking questions about future investments, suggesting that maybe part of the estate could be directed in different ways. He felt caught in a position where his private plans were open for debate, which created tension. Eventually, Mr. Robert realized that by discussing these plans too early, he had unintentionally turned a private matter into a source of conflict. Reflecting on the situation, Mr. Robert chose a different approach. He decided to finalize his plans privately, making clear arrangements with a trusted advisor. Instead of involving his family in every decision, he focused on being present with them, creating memories without the shadow of inheritance looming over their time together. This gave him peace of mind and allowed his sons to see him as their father, not as a figurehead managing future finances. Keeping asset plans private doesn't mean withholding love or trust. It means recognizing that discussions about finances can sometimes distract from what truly matters, the bonds we share with our family. When we openly discuss these matters, family members may unintentionally begin to view relationships through a lens of material value, which can create unnecessary tension. By waiting to reveal our plans until it's truly necessary, we protect both our peace and theirs, allowing family time to remain focused on connection. This approach also helps avoid potential misunderstandings. Each member of our family may have different needs and perspectives, and sharing plans prematurely can lead to assumptions or even hurt feelings. When family members feel like they're competing for attention or resources, it can strain relationships that should be built on mutual respect and care. Instead of frequent discussions about assets, consider sharing your wisdom in other ways. Mr. Robert, for example, found joy in teaching his sons practical financial skills without mentioning his own estate. He shared tips on budgeting, investing, and financial independence, equipping his sons with the tools they needed to manage their own futures. This way, he contributed to their financial well-being without directly involving his own assets. Choosing to keep asset plans private also grants us a sense of independence and control over our legacy. We're free to make adjustments as circumstances change without feeling pressured by family expectations. This privacy gives us room to consider all aspects of our plan, ensuring it aligns with our values and long-term goals. And when the time does come to share, we do so with confidence, knowing that our choices were made carefully and thoughtfully. So the next time you feel inclined to discuss your estate with family, consider pausing. Reflect on the importance of focusing on relationships over resources. This doesn't mean you're hiding anything. It means you're choosing to let love and connection come first. By focusing on spending quality time together, you create memories that will outlast any inheritance. In the end, family is far more than an asset list or a will. It's a foundation of love, respect, and trust. By keeping personal plans for assets private until the right time, you protect that foundation and allow your loved ones to see you for who you are, a guiding presence and a source of strength. Through this, you leave behind a legacy that goes beyond material wealth, one that resonates with the values and relationships you've built over a lifetime. As we journey through life, we learn that some things are best kept close to the heart. Choosing what to share and what to keep private isn't about hiding. It's about fostering peace, protecting our well-being, and preserving strong family connections. These 5 insights remind us that a life of resilience, self-respect, and love is built on mindful choices. If this video offered you valuable lessons, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Path of Wisdom. By doing so, you support us in bringing more practical advice and timeless wisdom for a fulfilling, balanced life. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments how these insights resonate with your journey. Let's continue to grow together, focusing on the values that truly matter.